Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about one of the more or less interesting things about door locks, and that is going to be the strikes. Strikes typically don't ever come up until you get one and they're wrong. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to kind of go through some of the more common ones and explain some of the little nuances about them to just kind of clear it up for people. In front of you are some of the more common ones here. Let me just kind of pull them off here so we go one by one. Alright, so we're going to start off with the most common commercial strike is called an ASA strike. Currently, they are 4 7/8 inches long. It fits into the standard frame prep in hollow metal frames. This one is it's a Sargent 808. Nothing really too fancy there. As you'll notice, it has a rectangular cutout on the inside. I know, for example, with Schlage, it has it looks like a D. But yes, so this is one of the more common ones. It has a blue film on it. It's stainless steel. Sometimes in the field, you have to end up kind of trimming these back a little bit in case the door, you got to push it really hard to get it to latch. Typically, it means you got to take a Dremel. That's the easiest way to go on about it. The old school way is just taking a file, but filing stainless steel is not something I ever wish upon anybody. So there's that. That's standard for cylindrical locks. Then we got this type of ASA strike, also 4 7/8 inches long. This one has this very long rectangular cutout, and it's called a universal mortise lock strike. It can incorporate a deadbolt and a latch bolt. It can also, if your frame latch location is in the wrong spot, you can put these in there. It prevents you from having to Dremel out. Like, say, for example, here's your strike. This is where your bolt should be coming in, but for some reason you got to have it up here. So you end up having to Dremel out up here. Well, sometimes it's easier just to replace it with one of these strikes, and it works just as well. So these are very nice, especially in retrofit situations. Then this is an old 5 3/4 ASA strike. It was primarily used on, if I remember right, Corbin Russwin mortise locks from the 80s, maybe 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s. As you can see, the hole is offset to the bottom as opposed to being centered. They exist out in the world, but they really don't come up that often. I keep a couple around just for, those situations where it may arise. Then over into the residential world, we have the two main ones are a 2 1/4 inch full lip strike, and the full lip is referring to this part right here. It is a full lip, whereas this one is referred to as a 2 3/4 inch T strike, and it gets the name T strike because it looks like a T. This is that D cutout I was talking about back on the ASA strike. This is a Schlage strike, and it has a dust box pressed into the back, so those are always nice. So the wood casing and stud is not exposed on the inside of the strike. Cleans it up, makes it look nice. Now both of these strikes, depending on what kind of casement is used on the door frame, you can get longer versions. When you want a longer version of a strike, there's a certain measurement you have to reference. It's called the lip to center. Now the lip to center measurement is if you took the center reference line between these holes here and then measured it out to this one. If I remember right, this one's 2 1/4, which is the way to check it. No, this one's 1 3/4. So if we put this right here and centered it on these holes, the lip comes out to about 1 3/4. These are nice for when you have the real thick profile casements. But they can come in a whole slew of sizes. I mean, heck, I have some back there that are 3 3/4 inches, so I'm not quite sure what they were going for there, but I've had those. You can also get dust boxes separately. This one's meant for 2 3/4, so it just works just like that. Like I said, it just cleans up the install, makes it look better. This way kids can't put their fingers in there, or employees can't shove crap down into the frame. There's lots of stuff that happens. But anyways, thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to just post them below. Other than that, have a great day. Bye-bye.